Dub Nation, this is insane. Jimmy Butler just dropped a bombshell, and the entire NBA is in shock. Nobody saw this coming, but it could change everything for the Golden State Warriors. Rumors are flying, insiders are talking, and the possibility of Butler teaming up with Steph, Klay, and Draymond is starting to look very real. Could the Warriors be on the verge of making a franchise-altering move to bring in one of the toughest two-way stars in the league? Would Butler's elite defense, leadership, and clutch performances push Golden State back to the top? Stick around because we're breaking down all the details, the trade scenarios, and what this means for Dub Nation's championship hopes. Dub Nation, you won't believe what just happened. The NBA world has been shaken, and the Golden State Warriors might be at the center of one of the biggest surprises of the season. Jimmy Butler just dropped an absolute bomb, and nobody saw it coming. This is the kind of news that could shift the balance of power in the league, and Warriors fans need to pay attention because this might change everything. If you thought the trade deadline and free agency were going to be quiet, think again, things are heating up fast. Jimmy Butler has always been a player who commands attention. He's a fierce competitor, a leader, and one of the toughest two-way players in the NBA. Over the years, he's built a reputation as a guy who thrives under pressure and isn't afraid to call out his teammates, opponents, or even his own front office when things aren't going the way he wants. That's exactly what's happening right now. Butler has made it clear that he's not happy, and whenever a superstar like him starts making noise, you know something big is about to go down. The question is, could he be on his way to Golden State? And what would that mean for the Warriors? Let's take a step back and look at why Butler is frustrated. The Miami Heat have been competitive for years, but they've struggled to get over the hump. Despite making deep playoff runs and even reaching the NBA Finals twice in recent seasons, they haven't been able to secure that elusive championship. Butler has carried this team on his back multiple times, putting up legendary performances in the playoffs, but it hasn't been enough. The Heat's front office has tried to build a winning roster around him, but they've missed out on major trade targets, failed to bring in another superstar, and now find themselves in a tough situation. With other Eastern Conference teams like the Celtics and Bucks loading up on talent, Miami has fallen behind, and Butler knows it. He's 34 years old and doesn't have time to wait around. He wants to win, and he wants to win now. So what did he do? He sent a message loud and clear. Whether it was through cryptic social media posts, comments in interviews, or behind-the-scenes conversations, Butler has made it obvious that he's not happy with how things are going in Miami. And in the NBA, when a star player starts voicing frustration, front offices start scrambling. The Heat are now in a tough position. Do they try to make one last push and build a contender around Butler? Or do they listen to trade offers and move on? That's where the Warriors come in. Golden State has been searching for the right move to stay in championship contention. The dynasty is still alive, but Steph Curry isn't getting any younger, and the front office knows they need to maximize his remaining years. Adding a player like Jimmy Butler would be a massive statement. Imagine a lineup featuring Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Butler. That's a core that can go toe-to-toe with any team in the league. Butler's ability to defend multiple positions, create his own shot, and bring an unmatched level of intensity would make the Warriors an even bigger threat. But how realistic is this? Could the Warriors actually pull off a trade for Butler? Well, let's break it down. First, they would need to put together a package that makes sense for Miami. The Heat aren't just going to give Butler away, they'll want valuable assets in return. That means the Warriors would likely have to part with young talent like Jonathan Kuminga or Moses Moody, along with some draft picks. They might even have to include a key veteran like Andrew Wiggins to make the salaries match. Would Golden State be willing to make that kind of sacrifice? That's the big question. On one hand, giving up young players and picks is always a risk. Kuminga has shown flashes of becoming a star, and the Warriors have been patient with his development. Trading him away could come back to haunt them in the future. But on the other hand, this is Jimmy Butler we're talking about. He's a proven star who thrives in big moments. If the goal is to win another championship while Steph Curry is still in his prime, then going all in for Butler might be the right move. Another factor to consider is Butler's personality. He's known for his fiery attitude and demanding leadership style. He expects nothing but the best from his teammates, and that has sometimes led to conflicts in the past. Would he fit into the Warriors' culture? Would he clash with Draymond Green, who is also a vocal leader? Or would they actually complement each other, forming one of the most intense and competitive duos in the league? That's something the Warriors would have to figure out before making a deal. There's also the financial side of things. Butler is on a hefty contract, and adding him to the roster would significantly impact the Warriors' salary cap situation. The team is already dealing with luxury tax issues, and bringing in Butler would push them even further into financial territory that could limit their flexibility in the future. But again, if the goal is to win now, then these are the kinds of risks teams have to take. Now, let's talk about the fit on the court. If Butler were to join the Warriors, he would bring an entirely new dynamic to their lineup. He's a legit two-way star who can take pressure off Curry on both ends of the floor. Defensively, he can guard the best perimeter players in the league, allowing Steph and Klay to conserve energy. Offensively, he can create his own shot, attack the rim, and be the go-to guy in clutch situations when teams double-team Curry. One of the biggest advantages of having Butler would be in the playoffs. We've seen time and time again that he elevates his game when it matters most. His ability to take over games, make tough shots, and bring a relentless mentality would be invaluable in a deep playoff run. If the Warriors want to go through teams like Denver, Phoenix, or even Boston in the finals, having a player like Butler could be the difference maker. But what if this doesn't happen? What if Butler stays in Miami, or the Warriors decide not to make a move? Well, the reality is that Golden State still needs to find ways to improve. Whether it's through a trade for Butler or another star, they cannot afford to stay stagnant. The Western Conference is getting tougher, and simply relying on the same core might not be enough. So, what do you think? Should the Warriors go all in and try to trade for Jimmy Butler, or is keeping their young core the smarter move? Would he be the missing piece to help them win another championship, or would his fiery personality shake up the Warriors' chemistry too much? Is Butler's elite defense, leadership, and playoff experience worth the sacrifice, or should Golden State stay patient and build for the future with Kuminga, Moody, and other rising stars? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Golden State fans for more breaking news, updates, and in-depth analysis on everything Warriors. This offseason is about to get crazy. Stay locked in, Dub Nation. Stay locked in, Dub Nation. Big moves are coming.